Peace and blessings, everyone. I just watched the movie called Tigerland. It has Cole Hauser in it, uh, Clifton Collins Jr., and Colin Farrell. And I'm not going to really go into what the movie is about because this video probably end up being long enough as it is, as I try to rehash or regurgitate as it is my thoughts that I was having while watching the movie. But it's a very good movie. Suggest you go out and watch it, Tigerland. But as I was watching it, um, and real quick, it just deals with these guys in boot camp getting ready to go to Vietnam. And as I looked and analyzed, thought about what was taking place in the movie, um, and what it represented or is imitating. In fact, something happened in real life, the Vietnam War, um, and boot camp, the armed services, and all that. I came to start thinking about how the conflict that people are constantly faced with internally and which gets exhibited externally, of how we're always in conflict with the truth of the perception of self and how it may conflict with the truth of the reality of self. The truth of the perception of someone else, how it may conflict with the truth of the reality of someone else. The truth of the perception and beliefs of some occurrence, how it conflicts with the truth of that occurrence. The problems of our self-perception and how it can be attacked and sometimes even killed, and how in that being done it kills who we are, and thus it puts us on a path, a fork path, if you will, of deciding or figuring out exactly who we are or what we want to be, or still changing again what our perception is of who we are. What happens when that tough guy realizes he isn't as tough as he thought? What happens when that smart guy isn't as smart as he thought? What happens when someone who believes they can change the world realizes that they can't? What happens when someone believes that they are a good person, yet no one likes them? What happens in these constant struggles and battles? When people are faced with a possible the truth or reality of who they are, what do they have? They have choices of either staying with that and continuing to believe they still are that in the face of the truth, or they can turn to a whole different animal. And the animal could be good or bad. And as I said before, the micro is always an indicator of the macro and vice versa. Those things that happen in large, those things that happen externally are an indicator of things that are happening in small and internally. The question has been posed: does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? I think the truth may be is that it's both. It goes both ways. So then I guess the question I would ask is, how beautiful can we make our art? Truth bless everyone. Peace and love.